Looking for great deals on toilet paper, sodas, beverages, snacks for children and company or body products? Go to TVIG LLC, located at 3745 Kings Highway, Suite DC in Douglasville, Georgia 30135 to check out their full inventory. Hours of operation is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're closed from Sunday through Tuesday. Let them know you heard about them from All That Jazz. With more and more harmful chemicals being added to foods and products, it is essential to start organifying your lifestyle by ordering natural organic skin and hair products like the charcoal scrub and hair growth serum from Yardi Organic Products that's reaching you naturally. Follow Yardi Organic Products on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for your support. Hey, bless up, guys. Greetings and blessings. This is your truly Empress Chastity Warmington, aka All That Chaz, aka Lupus Slayer, coming to you guys this evening. Normally, you guys know I don't do videos on Sunday. I have a schedule that me try to keep on and stay on. So normally I would do my videos on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. However, with so much craziness and chaos going on in the world, there's just so much that we have to cover and that needs to be addressed. And a lot of it I was really just trying not to address because there are other YouTubers, bloggers, and a lot of other people that have been and are addressing those issues. But at the same time, if people who are on my platform are not on their platforms, they're not going to know about it, or who may not really watch news too much because news can be very depressing. It can be very strenuous. It can be very, frustrating. So a lot of people don't like to watch news. I know I'm me one of those people. I don't like to watch news because it's always negativity. I don't like all of that negative energy. But being in the position that I'm in with my career, that is something that I have to do is actually listen to news. Thanks to everybody who is watching. I really appreciate your love and your support. And also, before I get started, I would love for you guys to make a donation if you like, be a patron. You can support my advocacy mission as well as my entertainment business, because through my entertainment business, it gives me a platform to be able to do a lot of different things from from advocating and from um, going out and standing up for people's right, protesting on the behalf of people who may not have the voice or have the strength and energy to do it themselves. So when you guys make donations to me, it actually puts me in a position to be able to do those things. So I really appreciate your support. Now, I was going to start off talking about the senseless killing, and believe it or not, right before I went live, I heard like five major real loud gunshots go off. So this is showing us that it doesn't matter what area you live in, how nice your community is. Areas that are not prone for violence are starting to become prone for gun violence because people are coming. A lot of people are moving to Atlanta first and foremost. I hate when a lot of people try to just downgrade Atlanta as if Atlanteans are just out here terrorizing Atlanta. No, we have people moving from all different parts of the nation of the United States coming to Atlanta, and some of them, a lot of them, sadly, it just seems like they are involved in a lot of gang banging activities, or they live, a pretty strenuous lifestyle and live on the edge. And they bring that lifestyle and that mentality to here to Atlanta, and voila. Not saying that Atlanteans don't do that themselves, because God knows there are some gangs here in Atlanta. However, the violence and especially the gun violence was not nearly as significant and as bad as it is now, since a lot of people have moved here. So on that note, this is going to start me off talking about Um, I wasn't going to address this at first. I was going to wait till Tuesday to address it. However, seeing that I'm going to be talking about the housing issue, I might as well go ahead and address it. Um, Sorry guys, getting moving stuff around this way so I don't have to be struggling. Okay, so for anybody who lives in Atlanta, you know that the cost of living in Atlanta, pretty much anywhere, but especially in Atlanta, has really it has gone up by almost 700%. The cost of living here in Atlanta, just for a basic one bedroom apartment, if you want to be in an area that is not necessarily prone for violence and where you not prone for your vehicle to be stolen or anything, just for one bedroom, you're going to be looking at about $1,400, $1,500 by yourself. Um, and then that doesn't include your utilities. So you got to pay that on top of renter's insurance if you're renting. So the cost of living has greatly increased here in Atlanta. So with that happening, of course, housing issue has evolved even worse than what it is. Now, I will say this, and I constantly say this to people all the time: stop depending on your local governments to do right by you. They are not going to do right by you. Remember, they are in there for the title, for the prestige, and for the money and the benefits. They don't really care about you. If they really cared about you, then we wouldn't have this housing crisis that we have here in Atlanta. And one of the crises that we have, Mystic, stop. My little rabbit is over here getting into stuff. Hold on for a second. C Entertainment Networks is a multicultural and diverse world in one place, has celebrity supporters, and provides various entertainment services like branding, hosting, speaking, press kits, live interviews, and more. Just head over to www.chenllc.com to find out more. Thank you for your support. All right, I'm back. Thanks, guys, for that. But yeah, so we have to be the voice and we have to be the change that we want to see in our communities, in our nation. And a lot of people have become lazy where they don't want to take the initiative to do anything. They feel like, oh, I'm a taxpayer, I'm a citizen, so I'm entitled to this. Rightfully so, you are, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you don't have to fight for it. It's just like when you go to work, if your employer doesn't pay you right or is trying to make up excuses every time it's time to get paid, you're going to fight for your rights to get your just pay, right? So the same thing when it comes to your rights as a citizen in your nation, in your state, in your city, in your county, you're going to have to apply yourself. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it or you don't feel like you should have to. It's a lot of things we should not have to really go out our way to do or to demand, but because we deal with other humans, we have to do it. So I want to go ahead and give you guys this information for those who are in Atlanta, anybody who knows anyone in Atlanta or in the state of Georgia, because this is not just for Atlanta, this is also for the state of Georgia. The DCA board is going to, they have quarterly meetings, okay? They have meetings February, in May, August, and November. Now, this what I do not like with a lot of people who complain. They are not on these newsletter lists. They don't subscribe to the newsletters. So they don't realize just next month in February, which is almost here, tomorrow will be February 1st, at 10:30 a.m., there's going to be a meeting that will take place in boardroom 302 of the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, located at 60 Exchange Park, south, northwest Atlanta, Georgia. This meeting is to talk about affordable housing. It is to talk about Georgia Housing and Financial Authority, the Georgia Housing Financial Authority, economic development financing. And these are things that are going on, and you need to know who these board members are. There's plenty of board members. Audrey King, Vince, what's his name? Vince Williams, um, C. C. King. Do they call him C. King? C. King something. I don't know. No, C. Rick. Something. Then Steve Forbent, Chad Barrow. You know, there's people that people who live in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta, don't even know who these people are. I don't live in Atlanta. I live in a different county, and I know more about the people in Atlanta than people who lives in Atlanta, the board members and stuff, and that's just ridiculous. So, but even though this is for the state altogether, you still need to be active and you need to be signing up to these to their newsletter so you would know when these meetings are coming about. Okay, this is what really brought this to my attention. Okay, I see this lady, I saw it on Twitter. I mean, sorry, not Twitter, Instagram, where this lady named Felicia Moore, she was saying that she was going to run for mayor here in the city of Atlanta. She's going to be running against Keisha, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom. And that's good. I mean, you know, like by all means, if you feel like you're qualified and you have what it takes, then I'm not against that. What I am against, though, I didn't like how she just came out on an attack on Atlanteans, particularly Atlanta studios, music studios, because to be honest, Atlanta music studios here have been the backbone to the entertainment industry and why Atlanta is actually on the map now. It's not because of Tyler Perry, no pun intended, and no offense to Mr. Perry at all, but that's not why. Before Mr. Perry came about, Atlanta was already in that sector because a lot of music artists have evolved out of Atlanta, from Usher to Ludacris to Andre 3000. Um, who else? Y'all help me out. Waka Flocka and more. You know, it is so many. So when this Felicia Moore went on the attack on on in other words, what she was trying to insinuate is that Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom is not suited and fit to be mayor because of her, I won't even say love, but she understands that because of the hip hop and rap community in the music sector in Atlanta is why Atlanta is on the map. So she has respect and give homage to that. And this person, she seems, based on what she says, seems to have an issue with it. And and it wasn't just it wasn't the fact that she's running, that she has announced that she's running. Right now she's the president of the Atlanta Council Board or something like that. But it's not the fact that she is running, it was the fact that she came out to me really aggressive and cocky and kind of like with entitlement attitude, or that she's better in some kind of way, that she's a better person, not even just a better fit or as manager, I mean as mayor for Atlanta, but like she's better than Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom. I mean, you guys have to watch her videos and stuff because I pay attention a lot of times to body language, to the eye movement, even just the way her whole demeanor was. She's really cocky and arrogant. I don't like that, and that's not going to sit well with Atlanta. And so my assumption is her attacking Ti, because you know when she was trying to just start making attacks on the music studio, you know Ti is very vocal. He's always been very vocal. Sometimes he put his foot in his mouth, sometimes he don't. But I do agree with the fact that that she shouldn't have, Felicia Moore should not have been going on attack with the studios in Atlanta, because let's be realistic about it. It's not the studios in Atlanta that's causing the problem. What is happening is studios in Atlanta are in areas where they want to gentrify and they want to turn it into a certain community because of their its location is near downtown. You know, the West End is in areas where they want to take over and gentrify. And let's just be realistic. These property management companies and building companies, they're not. None of them are melanin owned. None of them, even with all of the gentrification projects that they've had, they have not had. I think it was only one, but the rest of them have all been non-melanin companies. So I have a problem with that because the areas that they're going in are predominantly melanin people. And so when we have companies coming in that are not melanin owned and operated and gentrifying these communities and moving melanin people out who cannot afford the high rent and the high mortgages that they're charging and the cost that they're charging for these homes and that they're developing in these communities. I really have a problem with that. And I just feel like that this Felicia Moore, she is pretty much like a butt kisser. I know she wears a lot of red, so she could be Republican. I don't know where her political point of view is. I don't know if she's liberal, political. I mean, a Republican, a Democrat. I really don't know too much about her on that level to state that, but based on what I have seen, the videos that I have seen of her and hearing what she says and a lot of what she doesn't say, because I know how to read between lines very, very well. So a lot of things that she doesn't say, and if you're not careful, you will miss it. But she's pretty much attacking Mayor Keisha Bottom, especially when it comes to the cops. And this is what I say with that. When cops are allowed with previous mayors and leaders of a city or county or whatever, when those cops are allowed to constantly get away with abusing their power and authority in their position, when someone like Mayor Keisha lets Bottom come into play and she makes them be held accountable for it, their inappropriate actions and them abusing their authority and power and badge, it becomes a problem because they have gotten away with it for so long. It's just like a really spoiled brat child. When a child is so used to having his or her way, and then they finally get with a family member that doesn't allow them to have their way, it becomes a problem. You know, it's going to be a lot of rebuttaling, a lot of rebelling, a lot of tension. And that's what has happened because when you think about what happened with the Atlanta Police Department, these cops did not start quitting until they realized that they are not going to be able to use illegal chokeholds. Not just here in Atlanta, this happened nationwide. When cops realized they're not going to be able to use certain types of chokeholds and do certain and get away with certain things that are inappropriate and not protocol, that is not within their training, they got upset, and a lot of them here, particularly in Atlanta, quit the Atlanta Police Department. Not because um, they couldn't have a good job, but because they felt entitled to break the law. They felt entitled to abuse their position and authority. And how dare, especially a melanin woman, dare tells them that they cannot abuse their authority and power without having any consequences, that they cannot be inappropriate towards citizens and not have any consequences about it. Because my thing is, we as civilians, because they consider us civilians because we're not in the military, or we're, for those of us who are not in the military or not in those type of offices of, you know, authority like that in law enforcement, we're considered civilians. So we as a civilian go out here and put somebody in a chokehold and they die, we're going to be charged with their murder, whether it's first degree, second degree murder. We'll be charged, you know, manslaughter. We're going to be charged to the fullest extent of the law, especially when it's not in self defense. We're just being a bully. That's what a lot of these cops do. The people who they are swearing in to become cops are arrogant and they have a chip on their shoulders, and they feel like once they have been sworn in to become a cop, that they are invincible now and that they do not have to uphold the law of the land, and they don't have to follow the law of the land, that they can use their badge and their position and their title to get away with breaking the law and violating people's citizens' rights and violating people, period. And Mayor Keisha Bottom, she did not allow that to happen. So because she took a stance against that, now this person, this Felicia Moore, is trying to make her look like she's the bad guy and like she don't have any control over the cops and that I'm at the Atlanta Police Department, and that's why, and trying to insinuate that Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom is the reason why Atlanta police officers, a lot of police officers on the Atlanta Police Department quit their job and don't want to work in Atlanta. That's not why. It's because they can't have their way. They see that she's going to make them have accountability. And if this would spread nationwide, where all the mayors in these cities would start making their cops be held liable and accountable for abusing their authority and their position and their power, guess what? It wouldn't be so the senseless killing by cops would not happen as not nearly as often as it has been. And it still is. They still out here trying to do stupid stuff. So I put it to you this way. During the during this particular rally of the Black Lives Matter, and they had the curfew. They put a curfew, and so there was two vehicles that I seen. It's on video now. There was a vehicle that drove that made this turn. There were two Caucasians in this vehicle. One of the Caucasians, which was on the front seat passenger side, was dangling out the window with her hands out, yelling and screaming and, being all loud and irate. Now, the second car that came, it was two melanin students that were in the car. They weren't being violent. They weren't blowing their horn. They weren't keeping up no ruckus or anything. That first car the people in that first car was blowing their horn. They were drawing attention to themselves. They were being disturbing. The second vehicle was not. But guess what vehicle they pulled over? They pulled over the second vehicle. They yanked those two young melanin people students out of the vehicle, and assaulted them for no reason, tased them and everything with absolutely no valid reason and no valid cause. So Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom made those cops pay for that because they were 100% inappropriate. They did not follow protocol for a simple traffic violation or whatever. I forgot what it was, but it was just pretty much just to let them know to go home. The cops claimed that they told them before to go home, where you told the people in the car that was in front of them to go home too, but you didn't attack them. So we're not going to start trying to justify and try to make excuses for these inappropriate cops. And so, because Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom wouldn't do that, this person, Felicia Moore, she's trying to use that as leverage, to go against Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom. She also, I noticed, like out of all the people in the hip hop industry that's here in Atlanta that she wants to attack, she going after Ti. And you know why? Because Ti has a lot of influence on people in Atlanta. So I guess she figures it's like when you buy the strong man that you can take over, and that's what she's trying to do. But I hope people are able to see through her, because I don't trust this lady at all. Only because of the fact of the how she has presented herself. She's presented herself so far to me very sneaky, very conniving. It have an entitlement attitude and a very cocky, arrogant attitude. I don't want anybody like that being the mayor over a city that I live in or that my friends or family live in, because I already know that she's not going to be to help build and protect the melanin people. She's not going to do that. She's going to allow these racist companies to come in and do whatever the hell they want to do to melanin people. And if people can't see that, that's because they choose not to see that. And I don't care if she may not like it. I hope she do see this video and hear me say this about her. But I can only go by what how she has presented herself. That's what I'm going by. Don't present yourself in a way that you don't want to be perceived. That's all I'm saying. So If she's trying to, if she wants to rebuttal it and state that's not the case, well, I can only go by how you presented yourself, and the way you presented yourself as very arrogant and cocky, and that you feel like you're better than Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom, and that you want to attack the industry that actually built Atlanta and put Atlanta on the map. And that's the reason why you can sit here indignant as you are and run for mayor. So let's just, you know, be realistic about that. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You guys can do your own research and look to more of that information. All right. So now let's go into this killing, these senseless killings that's been going on. Guys, this isn't just something that's happening in America, it's happening worldwide. Worldwide, people are being senselessly murdered and killed for absolutely no reason. And I'm quite sure we all know about the young man. Well, let me start with the first, this person um, in New York. His name is Musa Kamara, Musa Kamara. He killed his mother because he's 22 years old, and he murdered her because she told him to get a job. All right. Hello, you need to get a job. You know, it's like he wants. There's a post. I'm trying to figure. I saw it on a YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to find it. But it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's not, because it's really true in a lot of ways. Where it showed this grown melanin woman holding up a grown melanin man like he was a baby, and the caption on it was like, how grown men, melanin men, want grown melanin women to treat them like they're babies or something to that effect. And so, to a degree, some of that is true. Some of it is true, but not all of them, because I know, you know, some young males, melanin men that are very independent and that like to make their own money. They don't want to lean on no woman. They don't expect for no woman to take care of them at all. They don't want to give her that kind of, no woman that kind of power, because when you do that, you become subjected to that woman, unless she's just really stupid and naive, where, you know, there are women that would do that, and he would still cheat on her and bring other women into the house in front of her and stuff. You know, you do have some women that are very vulnerable like that and has extremely low self-esteem. That's on a different story. But this young guy, let me see, his mother name is Fatumala from East Harlem, and her last name is Denson. And she was murdered. He shot her cold blood in her forehead because she told him to get a job. She had restraining orders out against him. She had an order of protection against her son because he's so aggressive and so violent. I can't even imagine me having a son. I could not imagine being afraid of my child to the point where I would have to get a restraining order against my child, or be afraid for my life, afraid that my child would try to kill me or hurt me really bad. That is a very uncomfortable feeling. So she had no choice but to put him out, and he violated the restraining order, came back around, and he had this sense of entitlement. And I noticed this is going on a whole lot, where I'm seeing a lot of people having a sense of entitlement, males and females alike, where they feel like they're entitled to have whatever it is they want from you when they want. And if you don't give it to them, then they want to resort to violence or resort to killing you, or doing all kind of crazy stuff. And so I will say that I can't really pinpoint when it started getting extremely bad, but I will say with a lot of melanin women, mothers particularly, have pacified their sons so much where they feel like working hard is a problem, where they feel like working and taking care of a family is a problem, where it's at the norm, that is abnormal, and that is foolish and it's ridiculous, especially in this day and time with, you know, the cost of living being so much more. But there are things that people can do to make earn extra income, even though it may not be what they want to do. Nobody wants to really go into the military, especially nowadays. But if that's your only option right now, so that you can go to school or so that you can have some kind of stability, especially with medical insurance, health insurance, dental, what have you, even though that's not what you want to do, you might, if you don't have no other option, then you need to do that. If you don't want to take the time to go through school, to go to college, earn a degree in a field that will provide the income for you to live that kind of lifestyle that you desire to live. Because everybody, see what it is, a lot of people trying to get instant fame and instant money, instant wealth, instant riches because they see it happening to a lot of people. And it is. It's like every time you turn around, they got a new face. It's a new music artist out here. It's a new um, Instagram model, this and mainstream. She done became very popular and famous stuff. It's and I understand that, but that doesn't happen to everyone, and you don't know if it's going to happen for you or to you or not. So the thing is, you just put yourself in a position where you can become self sufficient and take care of yourself. So you don't have to find yourself in a position where you're waiting around for someone to take care of you or waiting around for yourself to get to evolve where you're able to afford the kind of lifestyle that you want or being upset at other people who are able to afford the lifestyle and want to steal from them and kill them and take what they have because a lot of people are doing that too. Now they feel like, oh, I want it. I don't care if you did work hard for it. Just like the guy who shot the guy with the Rolls Royce in Buckhead, killed him, and it just seemed odd to me that the passenger, she didn't get killed. So I don't know what this situation was with this passenger. I don't know if it was a setup where she knew those the guys who pulled up and shot him and their intention was to rob him, but because of the way he crashed and where he crashed at, they probably wasn't able to pull the whole operation and sting. I don't know. But it just seems really suspect to me that she did not get hit. They didn't even try to shoot her or kill her at all, even though she's an eyewitness to everything. So I don't know what that's about, but you just have to be careful. But yeah, a lot of a lot of and what has happened also, I also blame society too because society have made guys feel like because the cost of living is more and because technology has advanced that they can use that as an excuse to be negligent and to be irresponsible. And now it's like, okay, well, what you bring it to the table as a female, and I'm not saying that she shouldn't bring anything to the table, but you can't call yourself king and want to be on the throne and you can't even provide for your queen or you can't even provide for your castle. I'm just that's just hypocritical to me. So, and I don't say that because I'm a woman. I'm just saying that out of just common sense. It's just like me as a mother. How can I call myself a mother to my child just because I gave birth to him, but I'm not mothering him? I'm out here doing everything else and neglecting him and leaving him to be raised by other people and everybody else. I can't call myself. I can't earn that. Wear that title as mother just because I gave birth to him when I have not done what I need to do to as motherhood to be an actual mother to him. And then if he doesn't respect me as a mother, I can't even get mad at him if I know that I have not given him the reason to respect me as a mother. So that's all I'm saying. So let's just be realistic about that. It may not be something that some people like to hear, to guys or whatever. It may be a hard pill to swallow, but nevertheless, it's the truth, especially with it coming from a woman. You may taking it as I'm being biased or sexist, and I'm not. I'm being realistic. That's why I even use a situation as a woman, as a mother, how I couldn't call myself a mother to my child and wear that title if I didn't be a mother to my child, raise him and did what I need to do to take care of him, no matter how hard and uncomfortable it was for me. It wasn't about me. I'm saying I'm his mother. I put myself in this position to have this responsibility. Well, guess what? Then I got to take on that responsibility. And nobody said it was going to be a piece of cake and an easy walk down the trail. Okay. So let's just deal with that. Now, let me show you guys this guy too, so you all can see who he is. Um, that murdered his mom because I know you guys want to see who he is. Okay, this is the young man right here. He killed his mom, and his mother is absolutely beautiful. She's a mother of eight at that. She has eight children, And so he didn't even care that he was taking the mother from their, the mother from his siblings. He just wanted what he wanted and he couldn't have his way. So he decided he was going to kill her. And his name is Musa Kamara, and her name is Fatuma. Women, Fatimata. Yeah, Fatimata Dunson. So I don't know what's going on, but we have a lot of these children just having this entitlement attitude and they can't have their way and they want to snap on everybody. Now, with that stated, let me go to this young man right here, which I'm quite sure you guys have heard about this young man. His name is Mason um, Sisk, like this Sisk. He does not look at all 15 years old. If I would have seen him, I would have never guessed that he's 15 years old. He decided that he's going to kill his entire family, household. I don't know what the situation is or was or what brought him to um, that state where he felt like he needed to kill his family. Um, I don't know what that's about, but whatever reason he felt like he needed to murder and kill them, um, it's just really sad. He killed his stepbrothers and he killed his stepsister and his stepmom. Um, I'm not sure exactly what the situation is. That's why sometimes when people want to blend families or they want to bring somebody on the outside into the family, it can backfire on them in a bad way. I understand, this is you continue on with your life and you continue to marry and you move on and you live your life. But when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you are also being fair to the child that was already there. And me have seen a lot of times with merging families or families where um, that becomes blended and extended due to marrying someone who isn't the biological parent, and then they conceive and they have children together. And now this child who is used to always having a particular parent or parents to him or herself is now forced to share, their family with other people, even though I know for me, I can't say because I haven't been in a position like that. So I don't know how it would feel to a child, but I can only imagine if now, only if the other children, and if they're young like that, they're going to require more attention, point blank, period. But sometimes what parents do is like mistakes that they made with their other children, they try not to duplicate those mistakes with the ones that's after the first set of children or the older child or children, and they have the tendency to want to correct those mistakes. But in the process of that, they can accidentally neglect, unintentionally neglect the older child, and that can cause jealousy, it can cause tension, it can cause issues. This happened in Alabama. Yeah, this was in Alabama. Um, what's this? Something Mont. Oh, Elkmont, Alabama. Mason Selk. He killed his dad, John Selk, 38, stepmom Mary Selk, Silk, let's see, this Sisk, 35, 6 months, 6-year old stepbrother. He killed his 5-year old stepsister and 6-month-old stepbrother. So whatever's going on, it was just a lot going on in that household. And obviously it wasn't being controlled at all. So, again, we just have to be careful when we're merging families or when we marry people. It can cause, problems. It can cause issues later on. And then when I get finished with this, I'm gonna jump back right quick to the housing situation. I'm gonna show you guys who some of the individuals are. Now let's go to this young man right here. This 17-year-old who killed his whole family. 15-year-old teen from Plainsville, Indianapolis. His name is Raymond Child III. He murdered his mom and dad. They were both 42 years old. Their name is the mother's name is Kenizi, and the father's name is Raymond. They're both 42. He killed um his 18-year-old brother Elijah, 13-year-old sister Rita, 19-year-old his I think it's his brother's girlfriend, 19-year-old Kiera Hawkins, and her unborn child. And I'm just like, wow, like what is really going on? What is this rage that is developing and has developed in people? And I wanted to do a mixture because I didn't want people to be like, oh, it's just one particular group of people that's doing that. No, this is happening with all groups of people. As a matter of fact, this particular incident happened this morning during church service, where this young lady right here, bless her heart, her name is Andrea Low Gardwood. Someone, a dear friend of mine, brought this to my attention. Dr. Galingo, he brought this to my attention. She was murdered during Sunday service. She was on Facebook Live in a Sunday service on Facebook and was gunned down and murdered and killed. And I think that she was intentionally targeted. And the reason why I think she was intentionally targeted because she works at a bank and nobody else was injured or killed. She was the only one, even though you can hear a lot of the gunshots because they have the video up on, in Google, of course, not on Facebook, but you can hear the gunshots, and you would think with those that many gunshots that more people would have got injured. So to me, I feel like it was an ambush and intentionally to set her up. I don't know if it has anything to do with her bank or with her being the working at the bank, and maybe somebody got upset because she wouldn't give them a loan. I don't know. It was just crazy the way that happened. So my question for the president of Jamaica, Mr. Andrew Holiness, I'm trying to figure out what his move going to be. Like, what is he going to do? He's the president and minister of, and I want to find out what he's going to do about the situation. Then we have um, Mr. Um, Horace Chain, Anthony Horace Chain. I wonder what is he going to do about the situation. Um, because it's just crazy. He's the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Anthony Chain. So we're going to see what he's going to do about it. And then we have, last but not least, um, the Senator, Honorable Matthew Samuda. So I wonder what are these individuals going to do about this crazy gang violence and rage that's going on in Jamaica where they just killing. So I wanted to show you guys that this is atmosphere that's just going around. I don't know what this negative energy is about. That's why you have to really pray and all. For me, I really try to stay away from negative things, even horror movies or anything like that. I try to just keep my spirit because it's an energy that's out there. It's a force. And I know a lot of people may think I'm crazy, but I put it to you this way. There are videos that I've done in the past or even posts that I've done in the past where I talked about certain things and people was like laughing at me and stuff and thought I had lost my mind. But then years later or a few months later, they saw it and then they couldn't laugh anymore. And, of course, they're not going to be comment back on that same post that they was laughing at me about and picking and mocking me on and say, wow, you was right. How did you know that? Because we have synergies. There's synergies and you can feel vibrations. And it's just crazy. Also in Jamaica, um, 4 homeless men was slaughtered in the street this morning in Jamaica. Wait a minute. No, that was on the 26th. This was Monday last week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Four homeless men in Kingston, Jamaica, was slaughtered. And then this morning, a 4-year-old little girl in Jamaica was killed by, my assumption is the uncle, is her uncle, because her uncle and her dad, which are brothers, biological brothers, had got into a heated dispute and altercation. And the brother had made threats that he was going to, retaliate. Not I and my assumption is he probably didn't realize, like at one Sunday in the morning, he probably wasn't thinking that his niece was going to be up and coming to the door, but she did. And what actually happened is, some people, they'll plant a smoke bomb or some kind of bomb as a distraction. So if you open your door, you can't see who it is, so that they can shoot and you can identify the shooter. But it's just common sense. I mean, you don't sit up here and make threats to hurt this man and to kill him and do bodily harm to him. I mean, of course, you're going to be number one on the suspect list, um, as the murderer, because you already made it known that you were going to do that. The exact same thing that happened and that played out. You said that you were going to do that to your brother, and so now your brother, he didn't. He wasn't the one that died though. He just got a leg injury from a bullet wound, but unfortunately, his little girl, 4 years old, died because she had a bullet to her abdomen and she just wasn't strong enough. Her little body just could not sustain that kind of torture and pain. So she ended up dying. So, there's a whole negative energy that's going on. And it's just so much that's going on in the world that it just don't make any sense. And that's why this brings me back to what I was talking about at the very beginning. How we as citizens have to set in motion what we want. You know, I put it to you this way. Our current governor here in the state of Georgia, Kemp, who I do not care for, I do not like this man at all, because first and foremost, he lied and cheated, manipulated his way into the governor's seat. And the previous governor and the judges of in the Supreme Court for Georgia and the previous senators of Georgia did not make this man sit down. Once you do that and violate your oath of office, violate the process, you wasn't even supposed to have been able to run. But he had been sued quite a few times for intentionally trying to prevent melanin people from voting and tampering with um, voting machines and not providing um, chords and stuff. Like he'll keep the chords or he'll have his crew to keep chord. He was just doing a lot of trifling things. And as you can see here, there's nobody that looks like me at all in his party. All the way back, you can see there's nobody that represents us, people like me, in his committee. So that is one of the reasons why a lot of things can happen and do happen the way they do, from violence and everything. Now, I will say this though, the melanin on melanin crime though, we have to take responsibility on that. Now, a lot of people get upset when melanin people talks about melanin on melanin crime, but why not? We have to talk about it. Don't try to blame it on systemic oppression and all of these excuses, because like I keep saying, and I'm going to continue to say it, if you want to blame it on systemic oppression or systemic this, that, and the third, well, if any of these individuals who are allegedly supposed to be systemically oppressed murder, kill, rob, steal, rape, do any kind of hurt, harm to you and or your family member, kill you and or your family member, don't seek justice. Don't call 911. Don't seek justice, because we already know why they did it. Remember, it was systemic oppression. So don't why even bother calling the cops? So we can't keep using that as an excuse to justify inappropriate actions by melanin people. A lot of melanin people just doing that because they feel like there's no consequences and they can just do what they want to hell do, like any other nationality group of people that go out there and commit crimes willfully and voluntarily because they feel like they have the right to do that. They have that entitlement. They see what they want. They feel they have the entitlement to kill you, rob you, steal from you, rape your daughters, rape you, whatever, and have no remorse. No, I mean no consequences for their inappropriate actions. It's entitlement. Got cops that do that too. That's why they go around and abuse their authority. And so with that, that goes back to me talking about this particular chick right here, that I had brought up, Felicia Moore. Let me show you guys her. Um, how she's, tried to um, use the use weaponry against Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom for getting on the cops who be abusing their authority. And it seems like if somebody who's running for mayor, you shouldn't want to try to bash another mayor for doing that. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand that logic. I don't trust her. It was just the whole way her energy is, how she comes off. You guys just watch videos of her. Look her up. Her name is Felicia Moore. Just look her up and listen to some of her videos and watch how her body language is and how cocky and arrogant she is and how she is. To me, she comes off like she is entitled, like, and to me, I just really feel like she's just jealous of Mayor Lance Bottom. That's what I feel like. I think she's jealous of Keisha Lance Bottom, and her connection with the hip hop community, because this lady just immediately started going on an attack. Why would you intentionally just go on attack on the same industries that have built Atlanta up and have provided you the opportunity to become, to be a president of the Atlanta Council meeting committee, to allow you to become a candidate to run for to run as a candidate for mayor. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, we have to learn to stand up for ourselves, because we can expect people to stand up for us. And one of the ways that you start by doing that is you take your behind to your state government sites, especially in the counties and cities that you live in, and you sign up to their newsletters. I don't care if you don't want to get the emails, they don't bombard you with emails. I'm on their email list. I for the state of Georgia and for different cities and counties in Georgia, I'm already registered with their to get to receive their newsletters and subscribe, so that I would know what's going on. And I see it like this. I live on the outskirts of Atlanta. I shouldn't know more about what's going on in the city of Atlanta than someone who resides in the city of Atlanta. That's a problem to me. I shouldn't know who your DCA board members are. You don't know not a one single DCA board member. You don't even know what DCA is. That's a problem. That means you are not, your priorities are in the wrong place. So a lot of times what happens is when people are not being directly affected with something or by something, they don't pay any attention, and it doesn't become a problem until it's too late. And this is what's going on now. I mean, look at the housing crisis in Atlanta. You got homelessness. You got homelessness like crazy down in Atlanta. Homelessness have increased, ooh, by like almost 80% in Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, period, but particularly in Atlanta. It used to be a point where you could drive in certain parts of downtown and have to see homeless people, but you're seeing them everywhere. You're seeing them in on Ponce de Leon. You're seeing them in Kirkwood. You're seeing them in Adamsville. You're seeing them everywhere, places that you used to not see homeless people just hanging out and about. You can't even get off the exit on Andrew International, what's this, Andrew International exit, Boulevard exit, without seeing a lot of homeless people. They got tents and stuff up, and it's sad. There's no excuse for it, because these companies, they could come in here, they could buy all these abandoned warehouse buildings and old schools that are closed down, and they could gentrify them and charge people $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month for rent. But you guys couldn't gentrify these buildings and have subsidized income for people who are low income or that's homeless, by giving them job development skills, especially the ones that are veterans. Why are veterans in the state of Georgia fighting for shelter? I don't understand it. So it's so much of a bigger picture. And as long as the cost of living keeps going up, people are going to keep continue to kill, because people are just tired. People are frustrated. They tired. They venting out. They taking it out on everybody in some form of fashion. Because when the cost of living goes up, it creates war. It creates tension. It creates chaos. It creates hunger, it creates homelessness, it creates joblessness because all I hate when people like, oh, get a job. Don't you know here in Atlanta you would have to have like 4 jobs, seriously, that pays at least $15 or more an hour to comfortably live in a place in one of these buildings in Atlanta. If not, you're gonna have to have like two they gonna freaking roommates just to afford a 1 bedroom. Okay, where the other person gonna sleep at? On the couch and one in the bedroom? Suppose they have children, then what? And then you're going to have neighbors complain, oh, it's too many people in there. Then they have housing code, ordinance where you with the fire marshal, you can only have so many residents in or people occupying a space. So they put these stipulations in place where you get trapped, like you can't win from losing. So how are you going to fight it? Is by making sure you go to their meetings, you subscribe to their newsletters, and you make yourself known and make your presence known. Because if not, this is what's going to happen. And so I hope this information helped you guys. I hope maybe something trigger is going to trigger and help you all to stand and fight for your rights and stand up for yourselves, because we have to be the ones that do it. Our government is not going to do that for us. I don't know why people keep looking for the government to do it. We see time and time again, year after year. I don't care what they get up and promise, during the election and what they're going to do and how they don't never honor any of that. They don't honor it at all. They never even look at the low class. They always just talk about the middle class. They don't even talk about the homeless. They always just talk about the middle class and the high class. So that in itself is should let you know where their mindset is and where their focus really is. But in any case, I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and play a few more commercials. And by all means, make sure you get your ad if you would like to get your live stream ad. You can go onto the website right here. I'm going to pull it up for you guys so you all can see the website. It's www.cheenllc.com, and you can just click where it says services, or you can just click where it says live stream ads, and get your, go and read the information. And if you feel like it's something that you want to invest in for your business and for your brand, then by all means you can. I also am a brand ambassador. I can brand it for you. If you need a press kit, a professional press kit, I can do that for you. If you would like to schedule an interview with me, you can also do that as well, just by going to the website again. Just go to the website and you can schedule a live one-on-one interview with me. And so here's the commercial by Bleen. And you guys have a great day. And also don't forget to support my advocacy mission, my Gloves On campaign, because for me, battling chronic illnesses, diseases, it gets really, really rough. This is the Gloves On campaign right here. And if you would like to make a donation or sign the petition, become a team player, do all the above, by all means, feel free to do that. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Here's you can make the sponsorship donations there. Right here at the bottom, you see strolling through. It says Gloves On campaign. Again, it's on the website. All you got to do is go on the website. Everything is on the home page. And you just need to click, and it'll take you to the right page with the right information, so that you don't be scrambling all over the place. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close out with these commercials. And I really appreciate you guys for your support and for your love. And you all have a great night. Please be safe. God bless. One love. Peace. And I'm out like a light.
great deals on toilet paper, sodas, beverages, snacks for the children and company or body products, go to TVIG LLC, located at 3745 Kings Highway, Suite DC in Douglasville, Georgia 30135 to check out their full inventory. Hours of operation is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're closed from Sunday through Tuesday. Let them know you heard about them from All That Jazz. With more and more harmful chemicals being added to foods and products, it is essential to start organifying your lifestyle by ordering natural organic skin and hair products like the charcoal scrub and hair growth serum from Yardi Organic Products that's reaching you naturally. Follow Yardi Organic Products on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for your support. C Entertainment Networks is a multicultural and diverse world in one place, has celebrity supporters, and provides various entertainment services like branding, hosting, speaking, press kits, live interviews, and more. Just head over to www.chenllc.com to find out more. Thank you for your support.